Hi everybody, Matthew Turnage here. Welcome to the first installment of Fab 45's, and this is going to be an occasional series where I look at some of my favorite singles from both the Beatles and the solo Beatles. Of course, the Beatles revolutionized the concept of the rock and roll album, turning it from just a mere collection of songs into an artistic statement in its own right. But they also always, throughout their entire career, put out great singles that stood apart from the album and regularly in the UK featured tracks that were not included on albums. So they were their own separate thing. And the Beatles excelled at both a great hit single with a great song on both sides, and then of course an album that worked as a piece of work, both individual songs and as a whole. So I'd like to start the series today with one of my all-time favorite Beatles singles, and that is Get Back. Get Back was released in the spring of 1969 and hit number one on both sides of the Atlantic, and also has the unique distinction of being the only single they released where they credited the guest artists on the label along with themselves. It's credited to the Beatles with Billy Preston. And the A side, or the whole apple side, on the 45, Get Back is one of my all-time favorite Beatles rockers. It's a great Paul tune. I love his vocals on it. Love the lyrics. They're kind of silly and tongue-in-cheek and just a lot of fun. The song begins with kind of a quieter beginning that kind of builds up and builds up and kind of builds up the tension and the energy, and just kind of really pops into that first verse. And John does some great guitar playing throughout. I really love the lead work that he does throughout. But as far as instrumentally, the highlight of the song is probably Billy Preston's electric piano solo, which is absolutely brilliant and probably the best solo on any Beatles track. Of course, the album version on Let It Be is great too. It's actually the same take as the single version, or the first part of the single version. But when they recorded that take that they thought best, they realized that they forgot to include the coda on it. So they took the best coda from an earlier take and edited them together for the single. Whereas on the album they didn't edit back in the coda. The coda on the single actually really makes it, for me. I mean, the album version is fine, but I love that coda. I love the Ringo's drums kicking back in, and then going into that groove there at the end. It's a great touch and an absolute killer song, well deserving of number one. And then of course the flip side, John gets the flip side on the Sliced Apple side with Don't Let Me Down. Another great tune. Could have been an A side in its own right. Definitely worthy of attention. Great bluesy song. John exposing some of his insecurities in his relationship with Yoko, and he sings it so well. And of course, Paul on harmony vocals. Their voices blend together so well throughout. And again, great electric piano work from Billy Preston. Both sides of the single are absolutely amazing, and so I mean you can't go wrong. Either way you flip it, and that's what makes a great 45, and that's something that the Beatles were always great at. So let me know what you think of Get Back. Do you like it? Is it one of their better singles? Other singles that you might prefer? And in the future, from time to time, I'll be going back and looking at some other of my favorite Beatles singles and solo Beatles singles. Thanks for watching.